This was one of the worst hockey weekends that I could think of in recent memory for Montreal Canadiens fans. Hi everybody, welcome to Langer at the Mic. I'm Mike Langer. I also want to welcome in my new subscribers here to this channel, and if you haven't already done so, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And especially because I have a special message for you today if you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, and that is you have to cheer for the Toronto Maple Leafs in this upcoming playoff series. Of course, this weekend sucked for Montreal Canadiens fans who don't like the Toronto Maple Leafs because, of course, the Leafs won a playoff series for the first time in 19 years. But not only that, the Boston Bruins, who just had a record-setting year with 65 wins and 135 points, beating the 1976 Canadiens. But unlike the 1976 Canadiens, who won the Stanley Cup, the Boston Bruins blew a lead to the Florida Panthers in Game 6, and then they blew a lead to the Florida Panthers in Game 7, which meant the Boston Bruins, after their record-setting season, blew a 3-1 series lead to the Florida Panthers, which means it will be Toronto Maple Leafs versus Florida Panthers in the second round, which is a terrible scenario for Montreal Canadiens fans. Either Habs fans can cheer for the Leafs, which sucks because it's cheering for the Leafs, or Habs fans can choose to cheer for the Florida Panthers, which also sucks because the Habs have the Panthers' first round pick in this upcoming draft, and if the Panthers win and reach the conference final, their pick will be between 29th and 32nd overall instead of 17th overall. And that is why, if you are a Montreal Canadiens fan, you have to be cheering for the Toronto Maple Leafs in this series against the Panthers. Yes, I know it's fun for Habs fans, and all fans really, to take pleasure in the suffering of the Toronto Maple Leafs. But just like in the video that I made last week, those who dislike the Toronto Maple Leafs have to accept that it is over. They have to accept that after 19 years, this was the Leafs' year to win a playoff series, and after almost 60 years, dare I say, this could very well be the Leafs' year to finally win a Stanley Cup. With that being said, Habs fans have to put their dislike for the Toronto Maple Leafs aside and cheer for the outcome that benefits the Montreal Canadiens the most. That is the Leafs winning, the Panthers losing, and the Montreal Canadiens drafting at 17th overall instead of in the bottom 4 of the first round to go with their own top 10 pick. It increases the Canadiens' chances of drafting a better player, but it also could increase their chances of landing Pierre-Luc Dubois without having to give up much more in return. So Habs fans can see this Leafs-Panthers series as a lose-lose situation. I'm going to choose to see this series as a win-win situation for the Montreal Canadiens. Either the Leafs lose, which means Leafs Schadenfreude, or the Panthers lose, which means their first round pick will be 10 picks higher for the Montreal Canadiens. That's all I want to say with this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, whether you're cheering for the Leafs or the Panthers, but I've made my point very clear. And if you agree or disagree, still hit like, hit subscribe, give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Mike Langer for both. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time.